So, if you want to look at some of the other stuff on CBTV, go check out my mask wearing episodes and find out why I wear one when I'm in the truck stop. But right now, we're talking about tactics versus skills on Truckin' It. Stay tuned, and I'll explain an incident that happened this past weekend where everyone survived coming up. So, let me get this bunker strain out of my way here, but still keep it on, just in case anything happens. And that's where I gotta discuss tactics versus skills again. I just saw another example show up in my newsfeed of tactics beating skills. So, let me explain the situation here. A driver who had very little experience, and by very little I mean a teenage driver, was out pulling a horse trailer. Mind you, this driver probably just got through with training and just got his or her license. Was running with the family, which means parents, fellow brothers and sisters, etc. And on a 2-lane road, when a drunk driver crossed the line and sideswiped their trailer. I will share the story in the description below, but I want you to learn a lesson from this. This is where tactics beat skills every time. Coming up. So let me set up the scenario for you. And by the way, I got my bunker strain on, so life is good here in the big truck. So you're driving a rig like this Freightliner Cascadia, or perhaps a Chevy Silverado 2500, and you're pulling a trailer. You're going down the road, minding your business. Suddenly, a drunk driver, whom you had no idea was on the road, crosses the line as you're going by him or her, and the only place you have to go is the shoulder and then possibly even into the grass. Many of y'all don't understand that situation. Me personally, I've encountered it a couple of times during my decade of driving a big truck. And this is where tactics beat skills every time. First, seatbelt securely fastened. That's important because the seatbelt will help you stay in your seat and maintain control even during the collision if it is worn properly and you're driving safely. Second, hands on the wheel. That means no phone in your right hand, because texting drivers are just as dangerous as drunk drivers. Third, you're checking your mirrors and following the Smith system. So you had a 12-second advantage when it came to seeing the sudden move of the drunk driver. And lastly, you used your skills and experience to remain calm and relax, even as he crushed the side of your trailer. This is where those tactics beat the drunk driver's skills. Every single time. And in this case, the trailer, despite taking on some damage, stayed upright, and the driver of the pickup truck that was pulling it stayed in control. I'm going to link you to the story down in the show notes, because it was actually a teenage driver that had just gotten the license that was involved in this particular incident. That was shared with me on my social media feed. That teenage driver was put into the same situation that I've had to face personally on several nights heading home. Although I've never gotten into a crash that was caused by that drunk driver, this is very similar circumstances to what I often encounter when I'm on my way home. So instead of trusting your skills alone, you should definitely think about the tactics that you're using whenever you drive. And by the way, now here's a bonus question and answer. So the bonus question: how many hours do you have to wait after you've had your last drink before you can drive again safely? The answer, in fact, I'll link to it from the FMCSA website. And this also applies to flight attendants and pilots as well. Oh, and they're covered in the FAA handbook here in the United States. But the answer is 12 hours bottle to throttle. That means if you're gonna drink, either do so at home or take an Uber or Lyft to and from wherever you're drinking at. Or you can take a cab, or you can ride with somebody who's sober. But please avoid the fate of the driver who crossed the center line in this incident. Please avoid drinking and driving. Y'all have yourself a good night. May your best trip be your next trip. Keep learning, keep thinking, keep on trucking. Bye for now.